you've a computer about the house, it's surprising how much use you can make of bits and pieces of household rubbish thanks to this book by Gerald Bettridge. He really does seem to know what makes experiments fun. Retrieve the battery from a burnt-out old banger, drill a few holes in a car coffee maker, cannibalise the tea strainer. There we are. Pinch a small child's Lego set, making sure you get at least one motor, and put the whole lot together. What have you got? Well, if you add the circuitry given in Bettridge's book, you've got an automatic egg boiler. Plug it into a Commodore 64, and it will time your breakfast protein to perfection. I'm a simulated 3 minutes person myself, so here goes. And now it'll wait there until the water comes to boiling temperature, and then time the egg to the 3 minutes. This egg boiler is just one of the excellent experiments described in the book, many of them worthy of Heath Robinson himself. Ours doesn't look quite like the original because it uses a mains-powered pan heater. Unless you really know what you're doing, I'd avoid connecting your own circuits with mains-powered devices other than the computer. The auto-destruct candle is another device from the book. It detects the flame of a candle and then snuffs it out. Once the detector plate gets hot enough, the motor will start, the fan will spin round, and then the candle will be snuffed. If you think that's crazy, there are also more serious items, like a graph plotter circuit and a collection of smashing computer experiments for the Spectrum. Another excellent book of projects, this time for the BBC Micro only, is this by Bruce Smith. It includes a doorbell and rain detector, a light-operated switch, and this, a sound-detecting burglar alarm. A microphone is used to listen out for noise, and the resulting signal is passed down to this amplifier, and then converted to DC form before being passed on to the computer. Well, let's try it out. Imagine I was a burglar breaking in. I seem to have broken the glass. For younger viewers who fancy cutting their teeth on something simpler, I can recommend the Usborne series of books, and this one in particular. Half of the practical things it suggests involve just writing programs, but the other half of the book involves building circuits like this binary number display. You can get it to display either a given number in binary. Now if we dim the light so that you can see, let's try 12. There we are, 8 and 4. Or to count down from a given number, let's try 7. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's a slight bug in the component list here, however, as the binary numbers come out upside down if you use the transistor suggested in our copy, but it still works. Another book in the Usborne series gives complete instructions for building your own robot to work with Commodore 64, VIC-20, Spectrum and BBC Micros. How to make computer-controlled robots. So to try it out, we asked some pupils from the William Patton Junior School to make one, starting from scratch and with as little adult help as possible. Hi, kids.
Hi.
Right, now what are you all doing? What are you up to? Cutting some tubing there, are you? Right, what about you?
I've just cut out some balsa sheet.
Uh-huh. You cut that shape. Why have you stuck the paper on it?
So that I can cut it accurately.
Mm-hmm. That tells you the shape to cut, does it?
Yeah.
Right. Do you have to watch out because that's a sharp knife by the looks of it?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. And what are you up to?
Well, I just finished measuring and I'm just going to start sawing.
Mm-hmm. Why have you got tape wrapped around the metal tubing?
To make sure I've done it the right size.
Is that important?
Yes.
It is it? So that's a method you've worked out for yourself by the looks of it. Okay. Now what are you doing here?
I've just been tuning some transistors.
Mm-hmm. Soldering them in by the looks of it?
Yes, soldering in them.
Mm-hmm. Had you done any soldering before you started work on this?
Nah.
And how many soldered connections do you have to make to do the whole thing?
100.
About 100. Right, okay. And what are you doing over here?
I'm making a hole for the drill bits to go inside.
But you're not drilling the holes?
Because if you use a drill, the drill will... We're making... This is for the grippers.
Mm-hmm.
So if you use the drill will split the balsa wood
So how do you make the holes?
with the soldering iron.
It's very clever. Now, if you add up the cost of the electrical components, the batteries, the balsa wood, the glue, and all the various tools that you would need to buy that you might not normally have, the total cost is about £70. So let's hope that the end product is worth it. And here it is. Well, it doesn't seem to be going too badly so far. Well, I don't like the sound of that, actually. Now, what's this over here? This looks like a pile of mangled robot grippers to me.
Yes, well, you see, the design in the book wasn't very good, so it broke
Oh,
quite a few times.
She's broke several times, yes. Do you think you're really old enough to build this?
No, I think you should really be about 16.
About 16. OK. Now, this looks like another robot body, but it's got this funny word on it. I can't even say it. What is it?
It's Raharamasa, and we decided that name because there's 9 girls in our class, and we cut up 9 bits of card, and we put the first letters of their first names onto the cards. We picked them up, dropped them in a pile, spread them all out, and the name was Raharamasa.
And that's what came out. That's a lovely story. Well, Ruth and Ruby and the rest of the pupils from the William Patton Junior School, thank you very much.